Obviously excited to get the win. 6 wins, bowl eligible. Proud of this group of seniors, the way they've really fought the whole season and kept the team connected and kept the team, focused and working hard and not getting caught up in always our result, because the result always hasn't gone in our favor. But a lot of things went right tonight, and I feel like special teams probably our most solid game of the season as far as punt return. Tony Freeman just set the season game or single game punt return in yardage, so that was huge for him. I know he's going to want that fumble back, but a lot of big plays. Caleb Fransel, forced fumble and a sack in the interception, and then to have 6 sacks like that. It's a really, really strong performance defensively, and we're able to get a bunch of young guys in at the end, which is always good for the team and what we want to do moving forward. But I'm excited for this. This has been a long season for us, and dealt with a lot of injuries, and we have the opportunity to go close it out here in December. So I'm excited for that.
You mentioned the 6 sacks. After one of them in the third quarter, the camera pans over to you and you're smiling on the sideline, which you don't see every day. What do you remember about what was going through your mind?
I don't even know what sack you're talking about, but maybe it's probably when it took them out of all. Where was that at on the field? Because they had decent field position to start the drive, and then I think they were back at like the minus 30 at one point. So I was just excited. The defensive staff gets fired up, and it's a joy to listen to them find excitement in everything.
I mean, to hold them to 8 points, which really came with the game out of reach, what you feel most impressed by with the defense today?
The overall swarm, the consistent pass rush, the defense's willingness to really be a rock for the team this whole season. So these guys have battled. They played physical. They play together. There's a joy on the field. You can see it. And it doesn't matter who gets credit for what. They all find excitement in each other. So I think that's a sign of a good culture. And this is really one step in the right direction for us as a program, is in a first year with a lot of new players, a lot of personalities, and a lot of people coming from different parts of the country to fight for a common goal is really cool.
We expect the sacks from the guys like Bobby, Buddha, and so on, but you get Ben Beatty in there, when you get Donovan in there on one, as you get later in the game, you've got Malachi and so on getting after the passer. I mean, just what does this game kind of do to maybe summarize where your depth has been all season, and just the opportunity to kind of get to show that off a little bit?
Yeah, when players get in there, we say it all the time, we expect the same out of the second string and third string, and regardless of what string you guys deem them as, if they're on the field, they're a starter in our mind, and they got to go out and execute. And when you believe in your players like that, they believe in themselves like that. And so for those guys to get into the game and make the most of it, there's a lot of freshmen in towards the end there. And they're going to learn from those moments that they got in there. And we're only going to get better on defense.
What do you make of Kyle Martin, his first career start?
I'm proud of Kyle. Kyle has been really, since I've been here, a guy that works his tail off, a guy that's always locked in, a guy that always comes with great energy at practice, and we just put Kyle on scholarship the other day. So I'm proud of him.
Things don't go your way tonight. Your season's over right now, and instead you guys play to a way that earns you guys a few more weeks, maybe close to a month of time together. Could you feel your players playing with that weight on their shoulders? It certainly didn't seem like it. They came out and were playing excellent from right off the jump.
This team's done a really good job of blocking out outside noise and playing together, and I didn't feel it the whole week, and I really didn't think that we would lose this game at all. Just the spirit of the team and how much they want to continue to play together and get a couple more weeks together, which this upcoming week we'll get a couple practices in, and a lot of the young guys that continue to grow and develop, and the more practice we get with the youth of this football team, the better we'll get. And that's what the bowl games do. You're able to continue to consistently get better as a football team and grow the youth of your program. So I'm excited for that. There's a lot of young talent on this team, and a lot of guys have worked extremely hard to become ball eligible right now.
A lot of great performances from the senior class tonight, but specifically for Angel Johnson to finally have the long run and then followed it up with the touchdown. What did that mean to him?
Yeah, that was emotional. He's had a rough year. He's never complained. He's never hung his head. He came in with the expectation to be the number one. Didn't work out for him. Kirby found his way. Happy for Kirby. And then I just felt like at times throughout the season when Angel got in, things broke down for him. It wasn't always what he was doing or what he wasn't doing. He's handled it like a pro, though, and I'm so happy for him because that was emotional. It's been an emotional year for him. And I wish he could have had a better year in coming here with us than what he had. But it was good to see him get in the end zone and a little bit of a relief, honestly, for a lot of us.
A lot of the times you spoke about execution. Your team executed tonight in that second half. What does it mean to you to have this win for the program? And how much of, you mentioned it being a step in the right direction, so how much does this win mean to you?
Yeah, it's a big win because we're bowl eligible now. I don't know if it was early in the fourth there. We kind of got sloppy with a lot of things and the chippiness and the penalties and having, bonehead mistakes. But overall, the consistency on special teams, the consistency of the defensive play, and then to have success in the second half with their offense was great. And we got a lot of competitive players on the team, and I was just excited to see it come to fruition.
Caleb Francel to generate 2 turnovers pretty close to each other. What has he been doing really well, obviously all season, but particularly tonight, to be able to make an impact like that?
Just playing. It's nothing special for him. He's been an impact player for us for years. Not that we expect him to make those type of plays, but at the same time, he's ready for them when they come.
Al, you talked about assessing this season and talking about how you felt obviously have high expectations for where this program can be, but on a night like this where you see those smiles in the locker room, you guys are bowl eligible. How do you kind of balance the job of what this entire season was, but also what tonight was, and what it means for the future of this program?
Yeah, I mean, it's just quickly after this game. I haven't really taken the time to think about the whole season as a whole outside of just trying to be ready week by week and give the players our best as coaches and to try to reset ourselves and not live in the past because you can't control it. That's something that I'll do after this season. That's something I'll do in the next couple of weeks as we prepare for this bowl game. And I just think to be bowl eligible is huge for us because the players can keep faith in what we are building because really – we lost 4 games with a point differential of 12 points, right? And that stings. And 3 of those teams are ranked, and 8 of those teams that we played this year, are bowl eligible as well. Unique schedule, but at the same time, it's the game of football, and you got to get ready to play. And we'll learn from it. And we have a really young team, and a lot of these guys they'll learn from the season in itself, and they'll know that it's easy to let a game slip if you don't come out and perform the right way and execute the right way and take practice seriously and prepare in the off season the right way. And because the margin of error when you play great teams is really slim, and we just got to continue to keep our foot on the gas and close this season out. We're not thinking about next season yet, but we got to close this season out. It's one thing to get to a bowl; we got to win the bowl, though. That's the goal.
It's unusual to play a team twice in the regular season, of course, and to be able to get another crack at a team that got past you and get this win at home, especially to do it to get bowl eligibility, to have that meaning behind a rival win. How much extra is that to do it against a team that is a rival and one that you had already lost to?
Well, with the lack of fans here tonight, it was good to have some meaning behind this game, to be honest with you. Our guys were ready. They played with edge. They came out talking. It was really chippy. And any time a game is chippy, there's always extra motivation behind it naturally. So I was happy with the guys, the way they played, the urgency and how they took the field. in all three phases. And a lot of guys made a lot of plays tonight that some are expected to make those plays, and other guys made plays, like you said, but, getting their opportunity and making the most of it. So I was happy for them.
So, 3 months ago, you guys came out here and got by Idaho to open the season. When you think back to that team that first took the field for game number 1 and the team that just won game number 12, what do you think is the main difference between that team? How do you think you kind of grow the most?
We've grown in many ways. Maybe not all at once, but steadily we got better at certain parts of our game, and defensively we grew quite a bit. Offensively we grew, although at times it didn't always feel like we were growing. We got better up front with the run game. We got better up front with penalties, with like pre-snap penalties, and we got better at times in protection, decision making. There's a lot of things that we got better at throughout the season. But it's not over with. We still got to come out and finish, Otherwise, you'll be writing us a different storyline next 2 weeks from now. So,
offensive line in Corvallis, I think it was 6 sacks, none tonight. Really, Zevi didn't face that much pressure, and that's obviously without Brock. Just where have you kind of seen? You talked about the growth that they've had as a unit. Just where have you kind of seen the overall growth with guys who maybe kind of got thrown together, hadn't really played together much until August, and then by the end of the season seemed to be playing their best ball?
I don't know. There's just a continuity in there. There's having Brock and Hilborn there were kind of rocks for us in that room, and just their spirit in which they added at every day at practice, and knowing what it takes to go through a season and the consistency of how you can get better. I felt like we grew collectively. There's a lot of guys in there throughout the rotation in the season. And then last time we played Oregon State, I think there was 3 or 4 guys that hadn't played yet in the season. So it's kind of been a unique year with injuries and ups and downs, and I'll never forget this year. I'll tell you that.
Coach, when a university has experienced a streak of success getting to bowls like Washington State has, I believe this is now 9 out of 10, it can almost feel like it's a given. But if anything, this season showed that it's not. When you think about that elusive 6 win, finally grabbing it at literally your last chance, does it strike you in any way, knowing that that's why you play until the final whistle and play to the last game, because there's so much left on the table, even as you go through a season with ups and downs?
Every season has its own challenges. I've never lost 6 times in a season, I don't think, in my life. This has been a really hard year for me personally. It's been a really hard season for a lot of players because we've been so close in so many games, and we should honestly be looking at a 10-2 season. And but at the same time, I'm not going to live in the past of or steal the joy in any way, because they're hard to come by. I'm just happy for these seniors that they get a couple more weeks to live it out and enjoy the time together, because what's unique is we might play a 9-win team, right? And so that's new for me. Usually you get seeded in the playoffs and, you have an opportunity to make a run in a championship. And so this is a little bit different for me. I'm just happy that at the end of the season we have the opportunity to spend more time together, grow the program through the youth, and celebrate it with these seniors one last time.